To the 16th floor, I just need a little more. Rocking out to Lorna Shore, making that thing spin back and forth. Look at us, we're out of sorts. Thank God we're not keeping score. Losing our mind to cannibal chords, making that thing swing back and forth.
Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. As you guys can see, Viessa is absolutely just melting everything with frost. I know, right? She's so cold, she's hot. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys my FROSTQUEEN Viessa build. Now I built my Viessa around the cold-blooded module, as that just really makes you feel like a mage, and that's my favorite thing to do, is just be a mage. And you know, mages inherently are a little bit squishy, so this build is pretty squishy, but the damage that you can pump out is absolutely insane. Once you activate cold-bloodedness, the way I have it set up, you can have your blizzard up constantly. As soon as the last blizzard expires, you can put up another one. You can actually put up a blizzard before the last blizzard expires, so you can technically have 2 blizzards up at once, and you can spam your Q, the icicles, as well. The only downside to this is you do run out of mana pretty fast. You can one-phase a boss if you are solo, but I wouldn't recommend taking this into like most bossing and that. But this is the way I've set up. The main thing that I use her for is like the leveling stuff, using her for just a big AoE clear and doing speed farming the dungeons, because she can actually kill the bosses and the packs and stuff faster than Bunny. She cannot walk faster than Bunny, but she can kill stuff faster than bunnies. If you like going through a slow scenic walk through the dungeon while everything melts around you instead of playing Bunny, it's a nice alternative, and that's what I like to do with her. I'm not going to focus too much on the bossing build, but I will share all of it in the video. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into my builds. So first up, let's have a look at the mobbing setup. Now we do have cooldown on this. You want to get cooldown. It's very important to get as much cooldown as you can. With the amount of cooldown we have now, and then once you activate cold-bloodedness, your blizzard can actually be cast again before it runs out. Right as the last tick is going off, you can cast it again. So you can pretty much have your blizzard up the whole time, just refreshing over and over and over. It's crazy amounts of damage. So MP conversion for the cooldown, the max MP, it's whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. Then we move on down to nimble fingers for, again, some more increased cooldown. And then this slot over here, I have actually not catalyzed. The only reason for that is if the way I have this set up now, I can switch over to my bossing build. We actually put in a different module over there. We put in Dangerous Ambush, and we can fit it in because we change out some other mods as well. So we'll get to that once we get to the bossing setup. But if you wanted to do this and like fully focus on mobbing, you could catalyze this for the Maximize Range mod. So Maximize Range is what I would actually like to put there if you're going to focus this completely on mobbing, which I actually might do now after the video. I just wanted to showcase how it works, and that you can have both setups on one character without having to change all the catas. So we do have one for bossing, and we do have one for mobbing as well. But ideally, if you're going to focus fully on mobbing, change this over to Maximize Range. It's going to make your blizzard up to about 17 meters, so it's very nice. This covers a much larger area, but overall this does work pretty good, and this is what we were using in all the footage before. And now let's move over to battle stamina. Now this is just a little bit of HP, but the most important thing over there is the duration, because any amount of duration is going to give us another extra tick on our blizzard. You can actually stack duration and get multiple extra ticks. I believe I got it up to 8 ticks once, but the amount of duration you need to stack is not worth the effort, because you need to change so many mods around. You won't have the cooldown to constantly apply your things. You won't have the range. You won't have the damage. So that's why it's very important to just get a amount of duration. Doesn't matter what amount of duration, you just need some duration increase to get that extra tick. You can even get this on your reactor. If you do have duration on your reactor while you're farming for a better one, you can change this just to maximize HP, as it does share the same slot with a C. So just change it to a HP mod if you do have duration on your reactor. But I can demonstrate to you guys what I mean. So we'll take this off right now, so no duration, and then see how many ticks we actually get on our blizzard. So let's place it down. We're going to count the ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that exploded. So the fourth one exploded, and that's what it is. And now actually go ahead and apply the battle stamina. Battle stamina right there. Let's go ahead and re-blizzard. So go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see there it got an extra tick just by having that 8% duration. So any amount of duration is going to give you that extra tick. and I believe it ticks every 2 seconds. So when you start stacking duration, you see the duration currently we have 6.5. To get another tick, you need to get this up to 8 seconds. So it's a lot of duration you're going to have to put on there. So that's why I don't recommend like trying to fully build into duration to have a longer blizzard, as those extra ticks is not going to be worth everything else you're going to have to lose and give up for it. Now let's move over to skill expansion. Now this is just to increase our range. No brainer on that one. For mobbing, more range, more area you can kill. And it's going to also increase the range of your frost shards. Whenever they hit the ground, it's going to increase like the little explosion. So you can actually make that explosion pretty good and just start shooting at the ground when you are running past mobs, and it's going to kill all the mobs in a little area around you. And then we move over to our battle mod. We have chill skill increase as well as cooldown. Now that cooldown is really important, is why we run this one instead of running like specialize on chill or something for increased damage. Now the reason we're not actually running another attack mod is because the modifier on blizzard is so high. If you look at the differences there, we have 1435 and 1845. So if you take that and you add another 70% to that, it's not going to really give you much more damage increase as to what crits can actually give, because crit is going to give you like double your damage if you do crit. So the more you can crit and the higher your crit multi is, it's going to be much more damage. I believe our crit multi is at like 4, so we're going to do 4 times the damage. That's why we don't actually have an attack mod, and we just have this one over here for focus on chill as well as that cooldown. And then lastly, we just have all the crit mods. You want both the blue crit mods, skill insight, skill concentration, emergency measures, and front lines. You want these crits because that's just going to push your damage even further. I believe we have about 50% crit rate on Viessa the way we have her set up. So she has pretty high crit, much higher than Bunny, even higher than Lepix. I believe my Lepix has around 46% crit. So she really has a good amount of crit on her. That's why it's really good to go ahead and stack it on her just for increased damage. And that's the reason we can drop that attack mod. And now let's quickly have a look at the bossing setup. As you guys can see there, we only really changed 2 mods. We do also change our grappling hook because long distance just feels better when you're bossing, whereas mid-air maneuvering, if you're using that in bossing, if you don't aim exactly on the weak point, you're going to miss the grapple if you're trying to go for like the grapple destroy, and it's just annoying. So that's why I like to use long distance while I'm bossing. And then the 2 mods we do change out is Spear and Shield and Dangerous Ambush. Now Spear and Shield on the mobbing build is just skill expansion, but for bossing we don't actually need that skill expansion. It does mean that your Blizzard AoE is pretty small when you are bossing. So you really have to mainly use it when the boss falls down, or like really set it up beforehand. That's why you guys saw me in the beginning in the intro. I knocked down Pyro first on his shoulder, and then you just do your whole wombo combo and unleash all the damage. So we have Spear and Shield there just for a little bit increased skill power damage as well as defense. You can level this up some more. If you want to catalyze this and commit to either of the builds, you can go ahead and do that. You can even catalyze the Transcendent module there. I believe you gain about 2 extra, so you can level this up a little bit more. But honestly, we're just using that for the skill powers. There's nothing really else to put in there. And then Dangerous Ambush is a big one for bossing. When they fall down and get staggered, you're doing a crazy amount extra more damage. So that's why we use Dangerous Ambush there. So this is for mobbing, just increase range and a little bit of skill cost. And then for bossing, you just go for that increased damage over there, as well as Dangerous Ambush, giving you a massive multiplier on the boss when they fall down or when they're not targeting you. So let's have a look at the reactor and the component set. You want to get yourself a Frozen Mechanics reactor with skill critical hit damage, and then additional damage against Colossus would be better than the crit hit rate, as you only lose about 4% crit when you actually do take that off. I just don't have a better one yet. And then another thing you want to try and get is to get a Secret Garden mounting, as the Secret Garden is kind of like Viessa's secret tech for just being able to do a ton more damage. If you have a Secret Garden and you're fully leveled up, you can actually use this ability right here, Pest Control, because when using a tech skill, grants you the unique ability Pest Control, and what that does is it's going to give you skill power and skill power per stack. The stacks up to 3 times, and I believe the trigger rate goes up to 50% when you fully max out the Secret Garden. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not sure if this actually changes, but that's going to be like 30% or more, over 36% increased skill power, and I believe that may be a base multiplier, so it's just going to give you a ton more damage. That's going to take any kill, like my Pyro kill at the beginning of the video. I could probably do that without even knocking him down. I could just straight up go into the damage phase. And then another good thing about this is the way we have it set up. Obviously, we can like start pre-stacking this as well on our Viessa when you get into a boss fight. Because of our massive cooldown and the way we have our mods and stuff set up, you can actually just start casting your blizzards running up towards the boss, and that will help you proc that proc on the Secret Garden and just get that crazy amount of damage. You can just go in there and like one-shot tap burst the boss. I can't wait to actually get myself Reactor, but this week we can't actually get Reactors with these special rounds. I'll have to wait until next week when it rotates around, hopefully. So for now, this is what I have, and this is what I used in the footage. So you guys could see there, this is still not as good as it can be. Secret Garden is the secret tech on Viessa. Make sure you get yourself a mounting for that eventually. And then you want skill crit hit damage, and then damage against Colossus would be better than the crit hit rate in my opinion. And then moving on to the component set, now we are just using Slayer 4-piece. The most important thing is to get max MP on this line over there. The MP recovery in combat does help, as well as out of combat, and then the MP recovery modifier. All of the MP stuff is going to help you a lot, but the most important thing is to get as much max MP as you can, so getting that even higher would be much better. I believe the maximum roll on this is 160. We did a video recently covering all the reactors and components, and we actually have all the max rolls in the TFD Bible. We have another section in there we've added, I'm sure you guys know about it, that just shows you all the rolls and the max rolls you can get on components and reactors. That link is down below in the description. Just check the TFD Bible. So that's going to be just about everything. I don't really have to show you my weapons, as I don't use my weapons on the Viessa. I just purely use them to match the reactor. So I don't really use it. She's pretty much like Bunny, but you know, chill Bunny, and she's not as fast as Bunny. So like I said before, if you want to take the scenic route and do more damage, Viessa is your girl. And I mean, look how good she looks, boys. Come on, man. God damn, she got that cake everywhere. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, please drop a like and a sub to the channel. Helps me out so much. Also, drop on by the streams at twitch.tv/Augiesaint. We are streaming 6 days a week. I'd love to see you guys there. I love chatting to you guys, and we're pretty much always just doing something with stream. We're either farming something, or we're helping people kill bosses, or we're doing something. There's always something to do in TFD. As you guys know, the grind never ends. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the streams as well as the next video. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying